Hello everyone, this is Nikhil and welcome to another video. And in today's video, we are going to discuss about how to build innovative product ideas. So, if you are a BTech student in your first year or second year, then this is the right time for you to think about how you can innovate the existing products so that by the time you graduate, you will have a bunch of ideas which you can implement either in the form of a startup or if you can help some other company in its business development, then it will be helping you a lot in your career as well. So I'll be sharing you some of the insights which I have come across and for which I have some experience, and I would be willing to share my experience with you as I have been part of some products that I have developed previously. So there are three ways to build innovative products. So firstly is to improve the existing product, and the second thing is combining functionalities of various products into a single thing, and thirdly to replacing the technology involved with newer ones, and finally completely new idea. So briefly, if I have to explain each and everything slowly, so how you can improve an existing product, there are various ways. So for this there are again two perspectives. One is from consumer perspective, another is from manufacturer's perspective. So again from consumer perspective, whether you can develop newer and lighter materials which are stronger, or you can change the product's appearance in terms of shape and size, or you can improve its efficiency in delivering the product's functionality. Or you can also put it from manufacturer's perspective. Let's say you try to reduce the material usage, or let's say you try to reduce the manufacturing time, or you try to reduce the energy consumed. And coming back to the previous slide, combining various functionalities of various products. So what does that mean? Previously tape recorders were separate, radio was separate, and then new revolution came wherein you have both the FM radio as well as the tape recorder into a single thing. And previously, if you have considered smartphones, they were mainly used for calling purpose, and later on they added various features into that like text messaging, voice messaging, etc. And later on they tried to combine voice recording into that. Later on they tried to combine a screen which you can use, and they added functionalities like color into the screen. Previously they were only black and white, and they introduced color. So they have been keeping on adding and combining new functionalities and bringing out new changes each and every day, and that's how you can improve the existing product or come up with an innovative idea. And we also have Bluetooth. Previously there were no Bluetooth, and you can, by adding more functionalities involving various technologies like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, or being able to control something remotely, and that's where the technologies like IoT come from. So these are the various functionalities which you can build into an already existing product, so that you don't need to make something super revolutionary, but still it will add some value to what is already existing. And thirdly, that is replacing the technology involved. So previously we have normally aspirated engines, let's say if you are into an automobile sector, and later on the engines have been developed into providing more efficiency in terms of fuel as well as the power developed, like converting a normally aspirated engine into a turbocharged or a supercharged engine. And various technologies have come up like multi-point injection, and something like where instead of just igniting it with spark plug, you directly inject fuel into it so that it is going to ignite the fuel. So and now everyone know, and now we are shifting towards electric. So the prime mover which is inside the car is going to be an electric motor, and the power unit is going to be powered by the battery, and you will not be using any engine. So nothing much is going to change in the car except the way how it is going to be propelled. So that's nothing but replacing the technology. And fourth one is completely new idea, and this does not have any boundaries, and in whatever the way you feel like a random thought has come up in and you tried it something new, and that is the fourth sector. And as generally you have a lot of confusion coming up with what idea should I come up, whether this is work or not, but fourth idea is still there. But I generally observe that most companies try the first three things, before. For example, some of the companies will be highly aggressive in nature, like for example, uh, Elon Musk is trying to send us to Mars, which is a new idea no one have ever thought before. And but still that is also existing when it comes to innovating new products, right? And one more aspect is B2B versus B2C. So depending on what product you are making, you can either serve the customer directly or you can serve the businesses which are involved in bringing that product to the market, right? For example, you have various applications which are only specific to businesses, right? They are not intended for the end consumer, right? Let's say for example, if you are in a college, and let's say the business aspect of that would be to uh, manage the organization, and that is something that is only internal in nature, and hence you will not be developing apps that are directly involved with the students, right? For example, if you want something to develop uh, an application to track your attendance, right? That is only intended for teachers and not for students. I am giving you an example so that you can understand. And there will be some applications which will help other businesses to track their revenue. That's something which is not intended for end consumer, but whoever is involved in the business will be using that product, right? And you have various other applications like video streaming that is specific to businesses. And let's say for example, if you are a mechanical engineer, you will know that Dassault Systems is one of the company which develops various software products like SolidWorks and CATIA, and they have introduced a new feature known as 3D experience, right? So they have tried to integrate their entire product space into one roof and made it cloud based, right? So unless you are a very large business, you will not be able to directly involve into purchasing the licenses for 3D experience, right? So these are the various aspects. But if you are from the customer perspective, then your area will be different. You will be directly designing the part and making it manufacture, but you will not be focusing on how that is done within the company, right? And consumer segmentation. What do you mean by consumer segmentation? So not every product is intended for everyone else on the planet, right? If each product has its function, each product has its value to be delivered at. You can segment it based on the age, you can segment it based on the geography, based on the culture, and based on the purchasing power, right? Let's say for example, there is something known as Johnson's baby powder or Johnson's baby soap. It is intended only for infants and the families who have a new child, right? And whereas there are some other soaps that are specifically targeting for men, and there are specific cosmetics that are specifically intended for women, right? So based on gender also, some of the products have its segmentation, and based on geography also, some products which are very well sold in a particular region are not intended for everyone else outside the globe, right? Let's say if you take for example, in very cold countries where they have their own fire space in their own home, and if you are trying to build a product so that they can easily clean out the ash that is generated in the fireplace, that will not sell better in warmer countries, right? I'm just giving you an example. And based on the culture as well. And coming to the purchasing power, some of the products are like focusing on low cost marketing, some products are focusing on premium market, right? Based on what is the purchasing power. There are Titan watches and there are Rolex watches. What is the difference between them? They are targeting a specific audience, right? That is meant by consumer segmentation based on purchasing power. And what is the difference between a Maruti car and what is the difference between a Mercedes, right? They are focusing on certain consumer and certain customer, right? And coming to the business models, so there are two business models, like I said, low cost high volume model, and another is high cost low volume model, right? For example, if you take McDonald's, That's one of the low cost high volume model that they implemented, because they don't sell highly premium sort of things, but they made something as a user experience where people can dine out and spend their free time there with their mates, right? So they focused on low cost and high volume model, right? They opened various outlets and their model is different. Whereas if you consider high cost low volume model, you only uh, focus on a specific aspect and specific customers, where the price will be high but the overall revenue will be generated, because even though the number of sales you make is less, the cost of the product is high, hence you will be able to remain. And coming to the product sale aspect as well, right? So the product need not be entirely revolutionary in nature, but if you are able to make it at a lower cost, that's meant by better pricing, you can focus on that area as well. And better buying experience, right? What is the difference between buying in a normal shop and buying from e-commerce website? Their buying experience is different, right? Still, even though everything for now is available online, still people go out to buy stuff. Why is that? Because they want a shopping experience. They want to go out, right? They want to visit different places. They want to see various shops. They want to try out and see various products that are available. And even though you are not buying anything, you still go to a mall to spend your free time there, right? So that's what is meant by the buying experience, where if you are able to not directly invent on your product, but still you are focusing on how the customer feels when he is trying to buy it. That's where you can also focus on. And after sale services also, right? Even though whatever the product you're trying to make is very basic in nature, you can still focus on its after sale service, right? Let's say I will give you a very basic example. We use pens to write every day, right? So imagine, like in a given year, how many pens would a student use? Probably around 20 to 30 pens he would use, right? And even though there are refills available or the ink available, why would a person go to buy a new pen rather than buying refill? Is there any reason? There could be some reason, right? So if you can build a model where uh, you give the uh, like the body of the pen back, and you will be getting some other product, right? You can build a model such way as well. Let's say you can exchange a pencil if you have finished your pen. Like I'm just giving you an example. Or maybe you can exchange something else at a shop if you saved all your old pens, so that they can be reused in some other way, right? So these are the areas in which you can find out. And I understand that I have not given complete overview of how to build, because I will be making various other videos on these topics to make you understand. This is a new series which I am trying to start. And coming back to how you can build a product, you have to also have your competence, right? So a product, if it is developed, it is not just developed by a single person, but multiple minds coming from various domains, from mechanical, from civil, right, from electrical, from electronics, and from computer science. Various bunch of students and engineers sit together, discuss ideas and build a product, right? So you should also develop your core competence as well. So uh, whatever the subjects you learn in your college, try to relate them to the nearest possible things that you use daily, right? And I was watching a few podcasts which were done by one of my friend, and he was sharing videos on how a toothbrush is designed, right? I never thought that such complex process is involved in designing a very basic need for us which we use daily to brush our teeth, right? So it's a little complicated process, but still, unless you actually dive into how things are made, it will be really tough to stay here, because the world is changing at a very fast rate, and unless you stay up with the changes that are happening, it is tough to grab the right opportunities at the right time, right? So thank you for watching, and I hope this series will go a long way, and feel free to comment below and whatever the questions, and I will pick some of the questions and will be answering in the upcoming videos. So, and that's it for today. Take care.